so that you can access this class later can be accessed via the PDActive newsletter. And there's a YouTube channel with all the classes. And then let's get going. So make sure you have this exact setup. This is ideal. Doesn't mean you can't figure out a different setup, but to get the most out of the class and have it flow really smoothly, you got two chairs with the backs facing in. This acts as a support when we start doing single leg movements, weight shifting, working on that Tai Chi principle of separate, empty, and full, which is what allows us to be able to walk, to move sideways, to turn, to turn. So the main skill in Tai Chi is liberating and cultivating the middle pivot. So when this is stuck and these are stuck, and this happens as we age, not just Parkinson's doing it to us, it's just time. If left unchecked, the body becomes sort of super glued together, and then that lack of loose, sort of freedom of internal movement, that is why people start to walk kind of like stiffly. And if you look at either yourself or your fellows that are moving along in the aging process, that's what you start to see. It's just everyone just kind of, everything starts to stick together. So this, you can see why Taoist practice emphasizes opening, closing, and then turning and filling and emptying, and then turning and filling and emptying. The whole system of movement is to, it's kind of simple and elegant in that way. It's saying when we age, we get stuck, bound, and collapsed together. So what would happen if we just said, okay, let's just not allow that to happen. Let's cultivate the opposite of that: suppleness, pliability, the ability to do opposing movements and the dexterity, those kinds of things. If you cultivate that along the way of aging, you slow down, you, in some ways, you stop certain what you might think of as inevitabilities. So certain things are inevitable, other things are negotiable, is what I like to think of, right? So, and this class, this Friday, Monday class, emphasizes the lower half practice. The Friday class does more upper body and full body movement and more classical Tai Chi. And this is Tai Chi as it applies to turning, walking forward, backward, that kind of thing. Okay, so beginning sitting at the front edge of your chair, as we always do. This is your daily practice, daily homework, should you choose to accept it, where you sit at that front edge, you attend to pelvis, spinal column, rib cage, neck, and head, otherwise known as the axial skeleton, the central torso skeleton. And we work on zhong-zheng, or central upright. We also have the appendicular, the appendages, leg bone where it connects to the hip socket. We want freedom there. And then also the arms, which aren't just here, it's including this scapula in the back, the shoulder blades. So we need to have those loose, free, and developed. Legs loose and free, so that this central body can keep its zhong-zheng, or its central upright. So arrive at what feels like a good central upright for you. And then our first practice to loosen and free the body up is just this breathing. In through the nose, long, smooth, and full. Feel how breath, when we breathe in, it expands and stretches us open from the inside. And then when we exhale, it melts, softens, and releases on the inside. In and exhale on your own rhythm. Of course, we know breath is important at a chemical level, right? Just oxygen, CO2. But for this purpose here, think of it in its structural and muscular value. So inhaling with the emphasis on expanding, stretching open, moving the structures of your torso. Exhale when you're ready. Soft. So you want to go a little softer, a little more empty each time, closing all these mechanisms so that then you get even more functional expansion, functional opening, functional lengthening of internal space. And then you go a little further to that full, and then you exhale, and then there's all this movement, this subtle closing, settling, compressing, holding empty. When you're ready, inhale, fill. When you're ready, exhale, empty. 4 more. Practice like this also gathers our mind, brings the mind into the present moment. So it's a sneaky meditation. Just by focusing on long, smooth breath, quality posture, your mind is round by round funneled, gathered, consolidated into the present. Now, slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. Tip your pelvis forward, chest lifts a little, chin up. So this extension of the spine, retraction of the shoulder blade. And then the complementary movement, come back through neutral, slide your hands forward, the shoulder blades slide apart from each other, tip the pelvis back, hollow the chest, and really drop your head. So we want to go as far into the complementary shape. And then do it again. Slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, tip your pelvis forward, arch the back. And then go the other way. Hands forward, hollow, round. Let's take 3 more, add the breath. Inhale as you slide hands, arching, hold that breath full. And then with the exhale, forward. And again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale, arching. Exhale, settling to neutral, and rotations. Left hand forward, right hand and elbow back. Turn your shoulders, turn your head. Twist. Inhale back to center, and exhale, twist. The other way. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Center. And a few more. Remember that we are trying to separate each part from each other part. But we're not trying to get our body more stuck together. We're trying to find the space between each movable part. That's why the emphasis is on relaxation. So we're not adding a bunch of extra grip and hold. So don't stress on how far you're twisting, because that's usually where we start to grip and yank on the body. Instead, be soft, relaxed, and fluid. Now back to center. Hang the arms, shift the weight to the right buttock, lean sideways. Lift your left wrist, float your left foot, and get this teetering to the right, and then shift across the other side and teeter to the left. Just get movement of all your parts. Lean. Back to center. Lean. Center. Lean. Center. Back to middle. Now, instead of scapular range of motion, today we'll do this other movement. Bring your legs a little closer together, tip forward, swing your hands forward but not up, and make a circle, big circle out and around. Tip a little bit back, bring your hands in, and then let's go forward, bring the arms forward, and then out. Notice I keep my hands low, so we're opening up this junction, this joint, this mechanism. Then let's go forward and up, out, down the back, and neutral. Lean forward, go forward and up, and then open, loosen, relax, long arms. Turn the palms forward, slide down. One more, forward and up, open, down. Now, finally, forward and up, and keep going up, 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 as high as you can, open, and slide. So we're, again, trying to separate the scapula from the back, the arms from the scapula. We're trying to make sure there's a little bit of lubricated space for each part to glide and slide, which is what Tai Chi practice yields over time, is a feeling of, you could say, lubrication is a good way to think of it. Just everything glides beautifully. Now reverse, 3 levels, start low. We go back, out, forward, in, and then back along the legs. We go back and out, around and in. Then go back, out, and up, and then forward, down, loose. And again, this leaning of the body is important because we're letting a natural fluid quality go through the body. We're tipping and then tipping back. So learning how to not grab and hold the body is its own skill. It's an addition by subtraction. It's this, you don't even know you're doing it until you learn how to let go of it. Now we come back, up, 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 over. And then down. Lean a little bit forward, right? I'm not overdoing the lean forward, just a little. And I'm also not overdoing the lean back. It's just a little. And then, again, just a little bit forward. Down. One more time. All right, we're opening up all the parts of the body, and then we're closing in front. And then finding this neutral position. So hopefully what you feel now is looser through your central pillar and looser through this junction, so your arms feel less stuck to your body, right? Now scoot just a smidge back on your chair so you feel very stable. Let's just do the legs. Lift the right knee, flex the right foot, and draw the leg in. Push out, full extend. Bring it in, set the foot down, switch legs. We load, push, load, down. Switch, load, push, load, down. Switch, load, push, load, down. And load, push, load, down. Last one. And foot and ankle, really important. Point, flex, point, flex. So that separation, trying to make sure the foot isn't glued and stuck to the lower leg. And then tilt the foot a little in, out, in, out, in. Now, in, circle out. In, point, out, flex, circle. reverse, circle. And down. Other foot, extend. We point, flex, point, flex. And then tilt the foot a little in, out, in, out, in. And then circle, in, point, out, flex, circles. Reverse, circles. And down. Now scoot forward to the front edge. Rotation, rotating parts. So we go step feet wider than hip distance. Lift your toes, turn on the heels, toes point in, toes point out, knees out. Get the quad, the hip space. So remember, pelvis, spine, rib cage, neck, head is one section of the body, right? That has movement, but consider it one section. And then the organization of the appendages, the legs where they plug in, and we want to have separation there, freedom of movement. And then back to neutral. From here, forward fold, hands on legs, hip hinge. And then sit vertical. And then tip back. Now let's do that with the hanging arms, loose as can be. Now you want it to be where as you fold forward at the hips, your arms stay hanging like this. So they might even go a little bit beyond your ankles. And then you sit vertical, they hang right in line with the body. And then when we tip back, they hang behind the body. Because again, we don't want to be grabbing a hold here. So forward, vertical, back. We're really learning how to move from the middle of the body rather than trying to control things with the tension of the upper body. Now, slide your feet back a little. Fold from the hips, arms loose. Pour the weight forward and out of the chair so it goes down through your feet and just push through the earth and rise, 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 rise. Stay as loose and relaxed as you can. And then the first thing that happens when we go to sit is the hips go back. Then we fold at the hips. That eventually bends the knees and we sit down. And again, fold. Rise up. Zhongjun, central upright all the way down to the earth. Keep the weight underneath you as you fold the body up, sit. And again. Rise all the way up. Now we will not sit in the chair, but basically do everything the same. Fold, sink. See if you can even dangle those loose arms down to touch your shins, ankles, feet, or the floor. Then push through the earth, rise. And this is neutral, and then go beyond neutral, hips forward, arms hanging loose behind you. And then neutral or middle, and then hips behind, fold. So a healthy, living body, functioning body is one that is pliable, loose, water-like. Right? That's the Taoist epiphany, insight. We do not want to allow that, what seems to be inevitable, hardening and collapsing. This combination of collapse and hardening, that if you cultivate the opposite of that, you can at least somewhat negotiate that. Okay, so now from standing, come to your right side chair, turn and face it. Have your vertical axis. Now, just notice in my body when I lean forward, I tip forward, I'm not folding at my hips now. Not that I can't fold at the hips, but for this particular exercise, try to not fold. Now, hands on the chair here as you go back to your heels a little bit. And then forward to your toes a little bit. So when we use the term in anatomy, physiology, physical therapy, and all of it, it's this range of motion. And a lot of times we think of range of motion as some big external movement, but think of it as this range of motion here in the foot to be able to be back in the heels, forward in the toe, back, forward. Now stay forward and lift all the way to the tippy toes. Come back down, rock back to the heels. Make sure you're holding your chair here for safety and pull the toes up off the ground. Toes back down, rock forward and lift. Down, rock back and lift. A few times. Forward, lift. Down, back, lift. Down, and middle. Now, palms on the back of your chair. Walk your feet back. And now we, again, at the same hip crease, hinge at the hips, send the buttocks back. This is basically downward dog from yoga. This opens up hamstrings, buttocks, back, shoulders. And then let's come up with the chest a little bit so you take the pressure out of the pose. And then we go in again, hip hinge. Stretch. And then 3 times dynamic movement. Inhale, chest up, hips forward a bit. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhaling, chest up. Now walk forward. When you come out of this pose, really important to bring your feet all the way underneath you. Stand back to vertical. And then let's turn and face forward. You should be near your right side chair. Take a step back so the chair is in front of you and off to the right of you but you can still reach it. Arms hang loose. Remember what I said at the beginning. We're really cultivating this section of the body, the middle pivot, belly button, lower back, and the 2 groin. So this region is the most important spot. So loose arms, loose legs. And then from here, just a little change of weight over to your right leg, or left leg, sorry. And then a little change of weight over to your right leg. So can you get it to separate 51-49 and then 51-49 on the other side? So when I work with people who have a really tough time with balance and walking, this is bar none the most important exercise is just to say, okay, can you start to separate? Can you get to 52-48 and eventually 60-40, 70-30? And then once you can get to where you feel yourself more in one leg, let's say in the left, now let's all stay in the left and make sure you're not locking the left knee, but rather softening the left knee so that this right leg is less under use. So all your body weight you're allowing down through one leg and then switch. So now we're going a little bit over so you're above your right leg and then soften through the leg. So it's like a spring. So it's bending and bowing a little bit rather than locking and hardening. It's a simple concept, but it's a little hard to do in the beginning because we're so used to hardening for balance. We got to learn to soften for balance. Once you find that, then add this little bit here where as you soften down through, let's say, your right leg, you take a second and see if you can just get a little swivel movement. See what I'm doing with this leg? Because my weight is here, this foot is no longer stuck to the ground. And then you change your weight over to the other side. Remember, your chair is there if balance feels a little sketchy. And then this foot, you try to say, okay, is it free? Can I get it disconnected from the ground? And then change again. Boom. So if you can get this practice, all the other practices are built off of this basic skill of got your middle, you make One leg 100% full, the other leg has nothing. And then change over to the other side. And all the fancy practices in Tai Chi kind of boil down a little bit to this idea as well. Of course, it goes in all these different interesting directions. But, okay, so now change your body weight to that left leg and then lift to the tippy toe of that empty foot. So we're starting to train, what is this leg capable of when it's empty? Place the foot back down, change the weight and let the weight go down through the right leg. Now your left foot is the empty leg. Can you lift to the tippy toe? And let this be a nice range of motion challenge for the foot, the ankle, the calf, the Achilles, right? So you're lifting, placing it down, and then changing weight into that leg, lifting the heel, getting to the tip of the toe, place the foot down, change the weight. Lift, lower, change. Now the softer we are, the faster movement can become. So not by hurrying up, but by being so relaxed that we can go zip, zip. So I'm not suggesting you have to do this. I'm just saying what you see is that softness allows for speed. So we slow so much down. We slow down to be able to find the soft nimbleness. Then speed becomes available. It's a pretty cool process. Right hand on your chair. Get to your right tippy toe. Disconnect the foot from the floor. Place the foot back down and then switch. Change. Get to the other tippy toe. Lift. Lower. Change. Tippy toe. Lift. Lower. Change. Maybe some of you will try, maybe I don't need my hand for this. You just get this lift and lower, change. Remember your middle pivot. That's what we're cultivating. The more we grab, the more brittle our balance is. The more soft we become, the more grounded and buoyant we become. Now, hand on the chair, empty that left foot, and we go full lift, and then back down. Now, repeat on that same leg. Lift, down. Notice that I'm not leaning and tilting. I'm 100% here. This is as free and loose as an arm. So that's eventually what you want to get to, where this leg is free enough to lift and lower, right? Now switch, change. Now make that free loose leg into your sturdy mountain leg and lift, down, lift, down. Pelvis, belly, spine, crown, arms loose and relaxed, right? So all these Tai Chi positions that we work on in the Friday class, available because of the sturdiness here. Now alternate each time. Change, lift, down, change, lift, down, change, lift. The primary direction is down. If I get the down right, then all this up activity is fine because it's stable. Down. All right, now that becomes a little more difficult when we're trying to use that to move forward and backwards in space. So now put all the weight in your left leg, put your right foot in front, heel touching. Notice this front leg is empty. I don't have any weight in it. And then down through that leg brings me forward. Get to where your back foot is on the tippy toe and there's no body weight in it. And then down through the back leg moves me back. Down through the front leg moves me forward. So I don't have to lean forward, which would throw me off balance. If I leaned back at all, I'm already too far. So it's this relax in the middle and then just go down, 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 down. And as soon as we start moving forward and back, you might start feeling a little caution in the body, right? Fear is sort of, it's a wise thing to do, But notice how fear doesn't help us relax. It makes us start to tense and brace. So have the courage to really play with how relaxed can you be. And what you'll probably find is you'll feel a little less steady at first. You'll go and you'll go, whoa. But as you practice that softness more and more, you start to find a deep level of stability there. Now, right hand on chair, lift that empty front leg, lower it down, touch the heel, change the weight moving forward. Now, the back leg, like a little flamingo, bend the knee, put the toe down, shift. As the weight goes down and stays down, that allows this freedom. And then the weight goes down and stays down, moved you forward, lift that back foot. So vertical line, primary direction is down, which allows this pick up of the foot, and then down, which allows the lift of this leg. One more, down. Now, hand on the chair for sure here so we can really reach that full range of lift and lower. Down. Hand on chair so you can bring your back leg forward and up, reach it back behind, then you change the weight into that leg, that moves your body back. We got lift, lower, and then you go down through the front leg, that moved you forward. Then we go forward and up, back, and then down through the back leg. Lift, lower, down. Forward and up, back, down. Lift, lower, down. Forward and up. Switch sides, step your feet together, side step, over closer to your other chair. Put all your weight in your right leg, left foot in front, level one, no hands as you just shift and shift. Remember that when you watch somebody move forward, it can look like they are moving backwards and moving forwards, but that is totally unnecessary. Actually, there's nothing forward and backwards going on. It's just down. And then down. It's the same as your car and the wheels of your car that are interfacing with the ground like so, down with the ground, but that moves your car forward. That's how our legs operate. Level two, hand on the chair, lift, lower, shift. 100% in that front leg so that you can flamingo lift your back foot. And then shift. Weight down allows this lift, low, shift. Hand can be on chair. Someday you can find that you're loose enough, sturdy enough below that you can practice this without flinging yourself into falling over. So all of these have levels to their challenge. And then hand on the chair for this lift, lower, shift, forward and up, back, shift. The weight down allows the lift up. The weight down allows this. The one comes before the other. The down is what makes this safe and possible. The down makes this. Great job, everybody. And feet together. Go back to the first side. Now, put all the weight in your left leg again, right foot in front. Now we go shift, so down brought us forward. Now, important, when you step your left foot forward, the body should not travel forward, right? So you see how when I step, my body stays where it is in the room, in space. It only moves forward again when I shift into that foot. Same thing on the way back. We're going down through the foot that's behind. That moved me backwards. Now, my body stays where it is when I step. and then I shift and it moves backwards. So we're separating this into its sort of component parts, and then we'll blend it back together. So it's shift, which moves you forward, step without shifting and without moving forward, and then shift, which moves you forward again. And again, it's just down. So again, down moves me backwards. The step, I do not move backwards, but then down, move down, step down. And then down, moving backwards, step without moving, and then down. So that eventually it's like your car just flowing forward or backwards, just down, step, down. You're just gliding forward and then gliding backwards. Again, step. So I'm grounded the whole time. I'm just changing which leg I'm using. Now, hand on chair, we go lift, lower, shift. Now this back foot steps over something, which is something we got to do sometimes. Step over something and then shift. Little flamingo. So we're adding the challenge of how empty is this leg? If it's really empty and the other one's full, I should be able to take that step without falling and then shift. Same thing here. I should be able to lift and lower and then shift and then step over something, right? And it should be able to happen slow, down, and then shift, which moves you forward, lift, and lower. I move backwards when I change to that leg. I don't move backwards. All I'm doing is stepping. Then I move backwards when I'm shifting. Lift, lower. So I'm only moved forwards when I change to this leg. I step. I'm not moving forward. My body is staying right where it is. Then change. Little flamingo. Move backwards by changing leg. My body doesn't move backwards. The step happens, but I'm staying here. And then move back. One more time. Level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Step, shift. Flamingo. Shift. Step behind without getting pulled by that foot. And then you decide when it's time to shift. Great job. Looks smooth, yeah, you all. Now, hand on chair for this one so we can go full range of motion. So lift, lower, shift. Now this back leg, heel, knee, foot, down, shift. And then this leg, forward and up. Now we're on our way back. Step back, shift, lift, tuck, reach, shift. Again, chair, lift, lower. So with the chair, you can just slide the hand along the chair. You don't have to grab it with white knuckles. You can just keep it there and you're just in case, right? It's just an emergency item so that we have zero injuries and negative effect from practice, but we really cultivate our ability. Switch sides. So feet together, step, change. Put all the weight in your right leg, left foot in front. Level 1, try with no hands. Shift, step, shift. Shift back, step back, shift back. So again, my body is where it is in space. When I change to this leg, my body's moved forward. My body doesn't move forward when I step. Doesn't move forward. But then it does move forward as I change the weight. So we're discerning between what's happening. So again, I'm going down through this leg. My body's moved backwards. Step without moving the body. Because too often people get stuck to the leg and they go back like that. Step without moving the body, then shift. Again, it's shift, Most important part, step without the body going forward. Put your foot out there, then shift. Same thing on the way back. Shift. Step without shifting. Foot behind you, and then shift. Level 2. So we go hand on chair so you can lift, lower, shift. Step over something. Pick up the foot. Step it over and set it down still without any body weight. Then you decide to shift. Bend the knee. Set the toe down. And then it's shift. Same thing here. Use the chair so you can lift, tuck, and reach back. Notice I didn't move. Then shift. Lift, lower, shift. You might try this with no hand. Careful. The weight underneath and out of the body makes for this buoyancy, this ability to pick up the foot, set it down. Weight out of the body underneath us allows this buoyancy in the body. If we're tight up here, we're going to feel clumsy and easy to fall over. But if we're relaxed, then we've got, right? And there's all these different Tai Chi movements that we might do walking backwards and forwards. But underneath it all is this sort of ninja quality of light, nimble. Level 3, hand on chair for sure, so you can go lift, lower, shift. Now it's full range, heel to butt, knee to chest, foot out, lower it, shift. And then knee up, back, shift. Now we reverse, knee up, tuck, reach, shift. The weight down underneath makes this possible. The weight down underneath makes this possible. Down makes this possible. Down, staying down. So the weight getting down is one thing, but it's staying down through the whole movement and then staying down. And staying. Because there's just this tendency, as soon as we start seeing things lift, we pull them up instead of let them float up. Right? It's a different mechanism we want to use for movement. We don't want to yank things. We want to soften and empty them and then use this buoyancy for movement. Now, come to the far left side and then turn and face down range. So the goal here is to get a 5 or 6 step in a row runway with something to keep you safe. Okay? So set that up for yourself in your own space, but the goal is a runway with something you could grab onto in case you start losing your balance. Change your weight to your right leg, left foot in front. Notice my body is here in the room, and then when I change the weight, then my body's moved forward. But now when you step, don't move the body forward. Step without shifting, and then the weight going down to the earth through that leg moves you forward. Step without shifting, body doesn't move, and then the weight going down moves you forward. Step without moving forward, shift, that moves you forward. Step, shift. Now same thing backwards, really important. Weight goes down, that moves you backwards. Then the empty front foot, step it behind, toe touch, and then shift. Empty front foot can step without the body moving, and then shift. The weight's got to stay down underneath that full leg so that when you step, your body isn't pulled backward. Then you shift. Step your empty foot without shifting. Shift. And again, this time maybe a little smoother where it's just step, shift, step, shift, step, shift. So now you're just gliding forward, but not forgetting that it's down, 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 down. Same thing backwards. Down, step the foot without shifting, down, step without going with it, and then down, step, down, down, down. Same exact thing, or possibly longer stride. But it's got to be still down, down, down. Same thing on the way back. Down, step, bigger stride. Down, step, bigger stride. Down. And the way we take a bigger step is by being looser, which is, again, counterintuitive at first. But you have to be softer to allow the extension of the leg, and then soft to allow that weight to just go straight down through the leg. So bigger stride shouldn't pull us off of our center. It should just be a looser, longer, pliable limb. Long, big stride. Long, big stride. And back to the starting position. Turn once again, face straight ahead. Now you've got your runway to your right. Put all your weight in your right leg and sidestep your right foot out and then back in. So all the weight's in the left. Step out the right and then bring the right back in. We're going to do that a couple of times. Out and in without any body weight. That's the key. So your body is right where it is in space, connected through your left leg to the earth. And then you're out and in, out and in, out, in. Now last time, out. Now change the weight to your right leg. Notice how that moved your body in space to the right. And then change your weight back to the left leg, down through it. That moved your body to the left. So it's down. That moves me sideways, and I'm not leaning. And then down, and that moved my body to the left. And then down, and down. Do your best to keep the whole foot, both feet, glued to the ground. Whether the foot is full or empty, we want to keep the feet on the ground so that the groin area has to open to allow this movement. Now, stay in your right leg. Your left groin area, the quad should be open. Now close it. Bring the foot in. And then open it. Step the foot out. Close. Open. Close. Open. Now, important thing here, James, is notice that I'm not stepping and going into this leg at all. The leg is stepping, but it's not taking any body weight. All the weight is staying just in this leg as I move this foot out and move this foot in. And in. Now, feet together. Change the weight to your left leg so your right foot is free, right? And then change your weight to your right leg so your left foot is free. From the middle, change, 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 change. Put all the weight in your left leg now. Step. And then shift. Now this is the full leg. This one's the empty one. Bring the empty one in. Now from full to full, step the empty. And then change. Right leg full, left leg empty. Step the left foot in empty. Then make the left leg the full leg so the right foot can step. You should be traveling to your right across the room. Change, step, change. Now, once you reach the end of your runway, go the other way. Out, change, in, change, out, change, in, change. Middle pivot, two groin, central pillar, all separated from the legs allows for function. If I put super glue in here, I wouldn't be able to move very much, right? That's what aging and illness can do to us if we don't cultivate the opposite. So we're trying to get freedom of movement, Freedom of movement, freedom of movement, freedom of movement. That will allow us to retain function. Now, most of you, I think, have been to the Friday class where we work on all that upper body stuff, but we'll just add that to this sidestepping for our level 1 advanced Tai Chi. So change your weight to your right leg, turn, and brush and sweep. So this is that bear washing paws in the stream. Now shift to your left leg, turn, brush, and sweep. Turn your hands around and shift, turn, brush, sweep. Turn the hands around, shift, turn, brush, sweep. Turn the hands around. We go shift, turn, brush, sweep. Notice your left foot should be empty here. Step it in. Keep your left foot in. Change your weight to your left leg. Turn, brush, sweep. Now your right leg should be empty. Step it out. Now we're ready to go shift, turn, brush, sweep. Left foot should be empty. Bring it in. Change the weight to the left leg, turn, brush, sweep. Right leg should be empty, step it out. So we're traveling across the room. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step that left foot in. Keep the left foot in, put the weight in the left leg, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. So now we've reached the end. We come in, out, and go the other way. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift into your left leg, turn, brush, sweep. As soon as that right foot is empty, it can just float in. And then shift and turn, brush and sweep. Step that left foot out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step out. Now let's do that again, but we'll go one step further. So remember in the Friday class, we worked on brush knee and swap the jumping fish. So let's do that a couple times stationary. Shift, turn. Bottom hand is brush knee, top hand is swap the fish, and then they change jobs. Shift and turn, brush knee, swap the fish. They change jobs. Shift, turn, brush, swap, change jobs. Now with the traveling step. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Left foot is empty. Step it in. The hands change. Left down, right up. Change the weight to the left leg. Turn, brush, sweep. Notice the legs are together for this one. And then the right hand goes down. Left hand comes up. Now we're ready to step. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. So now we've traveled to the right. As the hands change, step that left foot in. And now we shift into the left leg, turn the body, brush, swap. As the hands change high to low, low to high, step. Now we're set up to shift and turn, brush, and swap. As the hands change high to low, low to high, step that empty left foot in. Keep the left foot in and just turn so the weight goes down through the left leg, brush and swap. Hands are changing, take a step, and then shift, turn, brush, swap. As the hands are changing, bring the left foot in. One more. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Hands change, take a step. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Now let's go back the way we came to finish. Bring the left foot in, out, and it's shift, turn, brush, swap. Hands are changing, bring the right foot in. Shift and turn. What is usually the case that what you need to do is do less. You need to slow down so that you gain more awareness of all your parts so that there's less chaos. Right hand down, left hand up, shift and turn, brush and swap. Left hand down, right hand up, step, shift and turn, brush and swap. Right foot steps in. Just as you're going, keep this idea, the mind always in the middle dantian. So rather than my mind getting caught up in this hand or that hand or this foot or that foot, stay in your middle. Stay in your middle and orchestrate and operate from the middle. And then let's wash the paws, and settle. And then we finish, come into the middle of the chairs, and we go rocking to the heels like we did earlier, right? A little heel rock, open and lift. Remember the arm exercises that we did earlier, get that open space quality. Rock to your toes and sweep the arms around, out in front, palms face the sky. Then rock to your heels, bend the elbows, bring the hands in as if coming in the mouth. Then settle to the middle of your feet, hands settle to the belly. And then like that squat we did where the hips go back, and you sink the buttocks and release the arms, and let the back broaden, open, and then push through the earth, rise, stand. We do it again. Rock to your heels, open, lift. Rock to your toes, sweep around, palms face up. Look where my hands are. They're up around the mouth level. Rock to the heels, soft elbows, fold everything in past the mouth, then settle to the middle of your feet, hands settle to the belly, hips go back, sit the buttocks, and release the arms completely. Push through the earth to stand back to this totally relaxed and loose position. Let's do that one more time. Rock to your heels, open and lift. Rock to your toes, sweep around, palms face up. Rock to your heels, bringing in the upper and settling to the middle of your feet, hands to the belly. And then hips back, sit the buttocks, release the arms. Everything back to its ideal flow. And then wing, roll, fold. Settle everything, hands down to the navel, to the belly. This return to the reservoir. And then closing the practice, center palm over that navel, other center palm over the back center of this palm. And then this hand position that represents the yin yang, right? Here's the yin yang. This interplay of constant change, right? So the hands kind of represent that. But what we're cultivating is the middle place, the pivot point around which everything's happening, right? When we were doing this and anything fancy you might want to do with Tai Chi, this is what organizes it all. So we're breaking open all the yin and yang so that we can find the still point inside. So this hand position just kind of represents remembering that. Thank you, everybody. Great job. Great job. If there are any questions, please unmute. If you have any comments, insights, anything like that, feel free.